I want to give a personal shout out to my friends at Outlandish Claims. More on them later. The 2011-2012 NBA season was headlined by its Christmas Day start as a result of the long-awaited conclusion of the labor dispute from the prior summer, which led to a lockout. With the season starting in December, an adjustment was made to the schedule to 66 games, the shortest it had ever been, until some out-of-nowhere global pandemic nearly a decade later. The shortened schedule would seem to make it easier for some teams, but not the Charlotte Bobcats, who lost a whopping 59 games. That's nearly 90%. But of course, that means that they had to have won the rest of them. Let's talk about that. The Bobcats opened the campaign at home against the Milwaukee Bucks, who they had completed a trade for Corey Maggette in exchange for their former star Steven Jackson. The biggest change, however, was the emergence of rookie guard Kemba Walker. Kemba was Charlotte's lottery pick over the summer, after what he had done last year in March, and he's already making Michael Jordan look like a bona fide genius. The Bobcats would eke out a 1-point win, and they wouldn't have to wait long for their next one as they'd head to Madison Square Garden a few days later. By this point, the Knicks had traded for Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire was returning from an injury, and we were 1 month away from the start of Linsanity. They could have used some of that magic as the Bobcats led the entire game en route to an 8-point win. Here's a vote of trivia for those under the age of 25. Do you remember the last time the Golden State Warriors were at the very least mediocre? Here's your answer. Their star player was still Monte Ellis. They had just drafted the sweet shooting youngster out of Washington State, and nobody had any idea who this guy was and why he was so good at shooting threes. Yet here they are losing to the Charlotte Bobcats. So that's 3 wins in the book so far. Nothing can possibly spoil this. Oh. Well, I don't know what I expected from a team with only 7 wins all season. Despite their 3 thus far, they surely didn't come without any strife. In between the first 2, Charlotte had lost 4 straight. After beating the Knicks, they lost 6 straight. Heading into the matchup against the Toronto Raptors a month later, it wouldn't be any better. How about 16 consecutive losses? The early 2010s Raptors weren't really much to be excited about, with Chris Bosh taking his talents to South Beach and now having to rebuild around DeMar DeRozan. Still, it wasn't enough to get past the Bobcats, and you can add win number 4 to the column. Going into the game against the Orlando Magic, the Bobcats only felt more strength, after not only losing to the Nets, but Darren Williams scoring 57 points. There's no way this can get worse, right? How about there being a no call and Paul Silas arguing to the point of ejection to where his son Steven Silas has to fill in? Wow. But no. Silas' ejection lit a fire under the team, and it showed as they started down by 9 before halftime. The surge continued throughout the second half, and a big part of that was none other than Bismack Biyombo. He finished this game with 7 blocks, including blocking Dwight Howard twice, who usually does the blocking. This deep 2 by Gerald Henderson with just under 4 minutes to go put Charlotte up by 8 with no reason to look back. Uh-oh, here comes Kemba. Being up by 14 means nothing as he buries the dagger in Orlando's heart, giving them the win and what is officially their second biggest comeback in franchise history. This high will surely take them places. Hey look, the Bobcats only lost 3 straight games this time. And they're facing off against the New Orleans Hornets, who themselves are having a less than desirable season. With a matchup like this, we have the makings of a surefire tank bowl. No, we're not doing that. So what then would be the ultimate goal for a team like the 2012 Charlotte Bobcats? How about the prospects of drafting a generational talent in Kentucky big man Anthony Davis? Most teams would have tanked. Tanked like they've never tanked before. But not the Bobcats. Why? Because I can guarantee someone said, let's salvage this dumpster fire of a season. And what do you get when 2 teams with nothing to play for late in the season match up against one another? A game for the ages. Late in the fourth quarter, the Hornets found themselves down by 9 and brought up within 2 after a couple of quick buckets by Jared Jack and Al-Farouq Aminu respectively. With the game on the line, the Hornets need a miracle. But how will the Bobcats respond?
Trevor Ariza who goes to the rack, but that's where Biyombo is!
That's right. Everyone's favorite Charlotte Bobcat, Bismack Biyombo, comes up with a game-saving block on Trevor Ariza. The Bobcats win their 6th game, effectively ruining their draft odds. Way to go, guys. This effectively takes us into their 2nd game against the Toronto Raptors, who, fun fact, they've won their last 5 matchups against. They would make it 6 straight. The Bobcats would then proceed to lose every game of the regular season after that. And so there we have it. The Bobcats completed one of the worst seasons in NBA history. But what happens from here? Let's find out. With all of that out of the way, it's finally time to look at the 7 teams that actually lost to the Charlotte Bobcats. We have a lot to cover, so bear with me. This could take a while. In 2013, the Milwaukee Bucks drafted Giannis Antetokounmpo, watched him grow into an otherworldly superstar, and won a championship this past season. For the Knicks, insanity came and went, but it's not all bad as they finally made the playoffs in 2021 on the backs of some of the younger talent. We all know what the Golden State Warriors did. We don't have to talk about them at all. Just kidding. In 2019, they lost in the finals to our next team as the Raptors signed Kawhi Leonard for a year and won their first championship ever. And lastly, the New Orleans Hornets actually drafted generational talent Anthony Davis, then a couple years later completely changed their identity, watched Anthony Davis leave, and then finally drafted their own generational talent in Zion Williamson. Now I bet you're going to ask, what really happened to the Charlotte Bobcats? Well, let me tell you. They drafted this guy in 2012, became the Charlotte Hornets again, and haven't done a single thing. And we can all blame Michael Jordan, the absolute madman he is. Speaking of madmen,
true or false, Garrett Cole looks like Taylor Miller's illegitimate father. Think about the hair. Here's how you shoot. Oh! How the f*** do you lose to Luxembourg?
if you like to watch a bunch of dudes scream into a camera about sports for about 20 minutes, look no further. Feel free to subscribe to my guys at ATE Podcasts, look up Outlandish Claims on YouTube, or go find the link in my description. It'll be there. And if you don't,
here is my wallet. I'm going to open my wallet, and I'm going to hand you my Metro card, so you can hop aboard the L train.
So yeah, I want to thank my guys at Outlandish Claims for all their support. With that being said, this case is closed. I'll see you in the next one.